All right, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another daily check-in here with Trevor at the Level Up Academy. Today, we're going to be talking pivoting. What is your business doing to stay alive? A lot of businesses are finding that the traditional way that they've handled customers and they've handled their business has changed dramatically in the last week. We've talked with a number who are not sure what they're going to do or who are a little unsure of what next week and the future leads. And so I thought it would be great if I brought on our next guest, Jeremy Kean, who his business was supplying schools and sport teams for helping them do fundraisers. So if you can imagine, in a night when the announcement came across that schools and sports teams were closing, his business all but disappeared. And I think that there probably was a minute or two of, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And a freak out moment. And then the aha moment came. I know a little bit of Jeremy's story, so I don't want to spoil it too much. I want Jeremy to do that. But Jeremy, how about you introduce yourself to the folks at home and then tell us a little bit about your journey from where you were at the beginning of this, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and where you are now.
Sure. Thanks, Trevor. I'm Jeremy Kean. I own Suds Fundraising. I also own three other companies that all have a fundraising base. One's an all-natural company, which we'll get into because that's kind of part of the pivot. And then an apparel company, and my wife owns a boutique. So together we have four companies, and the main one that does probably 80 to 85% of the revenue is the fundraising business. So we've been in it for 8 years, and we specialize in the laundry detergent product and some of the cleaning and the household products. So not only here lately has that become, stuff that's flying off the shelves at the grocery store, but now, they're coming to us for those needs too. But yeah, that's what we do. And then the pivot, became kind of the freak out moment. Yeah, we had definitely had that.
So what was the first thing that went through your mind? I've talked with a number of people privately on their businesses, but what was the first thing that went through your mind when you're watching the news and you hear, hey, you know what? Schools are closing, and by the way, we're suspending sports. Like when you looked over at your wife, was there that oh crap moment? And how did it transpire from that to the aha moment?
Yeah, honestly, we were in the midst of a record February and the starts of a record March. So we had just heard a few things here and there, not that, none of it seemed very scary. None of it seemed like it was going to get to the point where, things are going on lockdown and, all the things that are out there right now. So, it didn't really even dawn on me when it was dawning on everybody else. So I guess when I had my aha moment was right before bed. I forget what day it was now, probably Monday or Tuesday of this week, where it just hit me all of a sudden. Like, wait a minute. Kind of almost like, are you that silly? Schools are shut down. Sports are shut down. That means 85% of your world shut down as far as revenue goes. What are you going to do? And, immediately I just I had maybe a 60-second moment. And then it was just a natural, 30 years of entrepreneurship, man. It was just a natural flip the switch. What do I have and what are people going to need right now? And what do we have in stock? What do we have in stockpile? And what can we get access to? And then it just dawned on me. I started taking inventory. Spiritwear is the other company, and it focuses on uniforms and team gear. So that was a pause. So yeah, between those two, that made up the Sud side of things. So I'm thinking, okay, we have the natural thing, all natural stuff. So I went to the recipe book and looked at the inventory and came up with hand sanitizer. It just so happened we had a ton of supplies for that type of product. So we kind of did some tweaking, did some testing really quick. And as luck had it, it came out pretty good the first time. And then the second time it was real good. And we started putting it out there and it just went completely nuts. At this point, we're taking orders in. They're flying up as I'm, seeing the screen right now. And I should have turned the notifications off for the screen off because they're flying in still.
Nice. So then what can you say? Because you know this, there's a lot of people out there who are. It's like when tragedy hits. It's like watching a an accident where they're just frozen because they're not sure. Do I move forward? Do I move back? Do I get out of the way? Um, Partly disbelief. Probably it's the 7 stages of grief that we're kind of all going through. You were able to make it through fairly quickly, where you analyzed all of them and came out. What and you'd said the other day, it's basically pivot or die. What can you say to those entrepreneurs that right now are struggling? They're not sure, hey, my base has gone. Um, Maybe some of them they're not thinking outside of what their base is. But what would you say to people or what do you say to people when you run into that are saying, Jeremy, how are you doing it when everyone else is not doing it? So what are some words of advice and some sage words?
I mean, for me, it was just start with how can I help? What do I have that people could want to where it's a mutual benefit? I'm, obviously bringing some revenue in that I've lost, and I'm also providing a product or service. And in this case, it was a product that we were able to turn and turn it over. So I think for us, it started with help, because that's the basis of all of businesses is you're helping someone. And in our case, we help youth sports. And so we kind of we knew that was dead at this point. So in this arsenal, what do we have to help others? So I think my advice would be to start with, help, give to get, reach out and give first, give anything and everything you have, whether it's advice, service, product. And at this point in time, I think that's the best thing to do, and just know that the universe works that way, where it'll come back to you. Maybe not now, maybe in the future. But my personal belief of this is that everybody's going to be okay with this. I mean, yes, there's going to be tragedy, there's going to be loss, but we're going to make it through it. And when we do, I'm looking at this as a huge blessing. So the next piece of advice I would give is, what can you do to mobilize yourself mobile at home? Because that's more than likely what should be going on, and probably is. And then use this time to relationship build, network with people, reach out to customers, kind of prioritize them from the ones that you've been meaning to reach out that need the best or the most, and then all the way down, because you never know how long it's going to be that we're inside. So this is a great opportunity. I personally have been craving something like this, not near this bad, but just personal time, time to, because like I said, we've had our busy season personally, and we were hitting record months. So for me, just a couple of days of nice relax will be great, and then back to the grind to what can I do from home? That's the best thing I can do, is relationship build and give what you can.
Well, I mean, it really goes back to that give economy type solution that was very popular, 10 years ago. And we're really finding that that's the spot that we need to be in. I like yourself, I think that those who can weather this storm are going to come out stronger on the other side. Again, not to wish and hope anything bad. I've got a 17-year-old that thinks that he's like Teflon and no germs are going to stick to him, and he's not sure why he can't go to a party tonight with 15 friends. And I'm like, dude, like, we're going into lockdown, like, you can't go there. And he's like, but everyone. So yeah, you're right. It's something also that we've all wished. Oh man, I work so hard. I wish I could just take a week at home and not even think about business. Well, guess what? Be careful what you wish for, because we're entering that. I mean, this Saturday, all the spring breakers come home, and it's going to go from where we are now to worse, because then we're going to be in total shutdown. If we look at San Francisco, California, and a bunch of other places, it's going to be isolation. So yeah, so I guess step one is mobilize at home. See what you can do and see what you can set up. Now, are you, Jeremy, a traditional home business, or did you have a small office that you just flipped everything at home very quickly?
We are not an at-home business. We actually have 2 retail locations and a warehouse locally, and then we also have a warehouse in up north that we ship out of too. So
the retail locations, were they affected by like the malls shutting down? So there's no way that you can open them anyways, or are they still kind of in production?
Well, the first part cut out. What was the first part of that question?
The retail locations, are they open, or did the malls shut down so you were forced to shut down with them?
we made the decision ourselves to stay open until the end of business today. And then with some of the recent news, we curtailed that and started doing some free delivery yesterday. And now we're going to mandatory free delivery today.
Okay.
And we have two of us working, myself and the general manager of Suds. Kelly's is off. The boutique is closed temporarily. And she's doing just Facebook sales and album sales and those kind of things. So it's just it's a mobile pivot, right now. Everything's just pivoting to mobile. What can you do? But the ones who believe that you're going to make it through this, everything's going to be fine, the more time and energy you can put into keeping yourself busy with talking to other people, because they're in the same boat. They're at home now too.
Yeah.
So, everybody feels comfortable with the personal side of things. I know in my world, I wouldn't want to talk to somebody right now about fundraising. So right. I know my first week's going to be more along the lines of small businesses and joint ventures. How can I help others to maybe help them? And then return, I'll get help from somebody I need. That's how I believe the world works. So
yeah,
that's what it is. But, for me personally, another thing I would throw out there as a bit of advice to entrepreneurs is really dig into some of the resources out there on mindset. You and I share a coach, and mindset is at the top of that list. And right now, I look at it kind of one of his lessons he had kind of given me about the king and the kingdom. I'm the king of our kingdom right now here, and I've got to be well. I've got to be mentally strong, and I've got to be a good leader here so that everybody else in my family, my organization, can follow that lead. So I'm a guy that likes a lot of humor, so I'm trying to stay real light and airy and positive about everything, and know that this is a great time. This is opportunity central right now.
Right, and I think what I wanted, where I was going with on your location was, it wasn't like you had a home-based business and you're up here telling everyone you need to pivot. Like, you had retail location store. You converted your garage into a mini warehouse. You have the best workers in the world, your kids, and they're helping where they can. So it was almost the fail fast lean methodology that you took on. This didn't work. How do we change as fast as possible to keep things going, while in the same time blending in that give economy? So you mobilized incredibly fast, moved everything in-house very quickly, and then I saw that you posted that, hey, we're moving to free deliveries. So if anybody has some stuff, so you're really again using that fail fast and lean mentality with the give economy blended together, just to keep things moving, and as well as bringing in some humor. I love the yellow hazmat. I use that picture to invite people in, the yellow hazmat suit, to say, hey, you know what, we're still having fun here. Everything's good. We're even going to deliver this for free. So that kind of helpful marketer, helpful business, you're seeing come back to you with rewards of people ordering from you.
Oh yeah, I mean it's amazing the kind of, and it's in our community, and I'm sure it's many others. I mean the restaurants, everybody are chipping in to go and take care of the nurses and all the hospital staff, and buying gift cards and taking food to them, and picking it up and eating and trying to support the local. This community's been amazing. It's a small one, but it's crazy how much support has been out there for everybody. I mean, it's really neat. So
nice. So what does the next 2 weeks look like for Suds? And then coming out of this, does this mean that you now have a second or a third channel added into the sales? Do you see being able to go back to the fundraising part of it quickly? What's your immediate future look like, and what's your runway look like from here till, say, September, when school starts again?
Well, I'm going to give it to you fresh off the press. I don't even know that it's been posted yet. But we created, in the apparel side, we have web stores that we typically clone and duplicate a core group of products. And then each team or school would be able to brand it, and then they would have their shirt, or parents buy it, they off that's a fundraiser. So we decided to take the platform we tested the last 4 or 5 days, and it looks like it's going to work to do what we want to do, which is launch a community-based store. And we're going to give back 20% of, since we are a fundraising company, we're going to give back 20% to our local communities and schools to make sure that the food and everything's kind of being channeled, and do what we can to help there as long as they're trucking products to us, we're going to continue to mobilize that way and deliver for free. Just let the orders kind of come in and stack up, and as soon as they assuming that anything goes to the point where we're on lockdown and it's not safe to be outside the house at all, we'll start deliveries back up immediately. Then here localized, as soon as it's safe, we'll start dropping them off on people's porches and take care of it.
Well, I think, and I don't want to say that Jeff Bezos was prophetic in any way, but I think his new method of delivering, which is drop at the door, take a picture, send an email, that really helps in the isolation state that we're in, because you no longer need the delivery guy to knock on your door to get you to sign for something. He can drop it. You don't need me to answer the door when you're not dropping off the supplies. You can just ding dong, drop it and leave. So that part of it we were already accustomed to. And that I'm wondering about coming out of this, how slow the bounce back is going to be for other than the teenagers, because like I said, my kid's like, "Well, Dad, I'm not going to get sick. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
How can I get sick?" And I'm trying to explain to him the second and third degree away from the person he's visiting and how that all affects us. But coming out of this, I'm very interested to see what does business back to normal look like. And I don't think that we'll ever have business back to normal as how it was 2 weeks ago, ever again. I think that this will forever be on our mind as to, be prepared. Hey, you know what? Most of us didn't have a bug out bag ready. Now we're going to have that bug out bag, and that bug out bag might be, hey, what do I do for business if I have to isolate? How do I take care of my customers if I have to isolate? The bug out bag doesn't have to necessarily mean 200 pounds of rice and beans and 800 rolls of toilet paper so that you can go and live in the country. Your bug out bag is what is your next step to survival ultimately. And similar to you, we're fortunate where a lot of the businesses that we help are online, and so they all want to make sure that, hey, people realize that we're still around, we can still help you. So we're getting a lot of calls to help people out, or even just doing quick updates to let people know that during the coronavirus, here's basically how we're handling business. So we're picking up enough wood to keep the fire burning, and that kind of stuff. And hopefully, if we trend not the way Italy is, because I don't know what's happening there, but trend the way that it looks like what's happening in Asia, which is, hey, it peaked and then it started to come down, and they're starting to open their curtains and come outside again, and the market's doing better. So if we do that trajectory, that means May-ish we should be back rolling again pre-summer, which is what I'm hoping for. And I think that we're going to be in a hurry up and go mentality. So everyone's going to have to pivot again back to it. So, but okay. So Jeremy, last words, because I know that I keep seeing your eyes going up because I see that ticker tape rolling, and you're like,
"Oh no, you're good."
That's more business coming. That's more business coming up.
It's the technology. I've got
well, you know what? Tell us. I've seen a little bit about what it is. Is it an aerosol spray? What is it that you guys are producing right now?
Basically, we're taking alcohol and telling everybody it's the CDC and everybody says that they require it to be 60% or higher to pass a sanitizer or whatever. Yep. We're being very transparent. Literally, we're taking product. This isn't even a product that we make. We do CBD-based products for topical pain management. So, and CBD sublingual drops. So
how's that business going?
Oh, at this point, it's kind of doing okay. And everybody's just kind of on freak out and pause right now. We were in a transition, honestly, going in from our Route 40 brand was going from retail into a straight wholesale market. Okay. So kind of caught us a little bit in transition anyway. So it was just it was a blessing to have all those materials from products in the past that we had, and they're still good, and the expiration dates were still good. I mean, it was just a domino of blessing to have that to do. But It's basically a spray that has 9 different essential oils that are commonly known to be good against. A lot of people even clean with them. It's commonly part of those. The blend is commonly known as thieves with young living people. And if you believe in essential oils and the disinfectant power and the cleaning power of them, that's what we kind of went with. So we put aloe vera gel, which is another good product to put with sanitizer for that. We just took everything we had that was antiseptic, antifungal, pretty much everything, made a blend that kept your hands soft because we had a lot of extra carrier oils too to use. So we made it to where it was a little different, a lot better, and smelled good. So
so is it a spray? So is it a spray to clean your countertop, or is it a spray for your hands, or both?
It's basically a hand sanitizer to just keep your hands clean. And washing hands is what the real recommendation is, but this is just something they're kind of an extra to use. Well, when we first put it out, it was obviously for mobile, as you're out and shaking hands and touching money, those kind of things, and it's not easy to hands as much. But now with everybody at home, I would highly recommend you use this as an extra method on top of the washing the hands.
Not only will they be clean and disinfectant, but you'll smell great, is what you're trying to say.
I mean, who doesn't want some essential oil love, right?
Nice. And as you said, it was nice. It was a blessing in disguise that you had the ingredients there, as well as is it isopropyl alcohol that's in the.
Yep, isopropyl, and we had an ethyl alcohol mix as well that we had.
For me, I'm just drinking my alcohol to help me stay healthy and get the journey.
Right.
So
we were talking about that last night. It dawned on me. I used to piddle around making moonshine back in the day in my garage, back in my younger, sillier days. And I was talking to my wife. I said, I wonder what a quart of moonshine's going for right now.
Well,
some of the good stuff.
I don't know if you saw it down there, but I know we've got a couple of distilleries up around us, and the distilleries are using their runoff alcohol and creating a sanitizer as well for it. So as the shelves are emptying out, the distilleries are kind of getting in that game to make sure that there's enough stock there and all that. The funny thing is, 25 years ago, Canada was hit pretty badly with SARS, and before that, there was not a lot of hand pumps being used or the gels. And then from that, every hospital had it, every shopping mall had it, and every home just started taking it on. So it's interesting, a product that really didn't exist 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Now it's the hottest product out there, and it's kind of like that meme said, and you had already alluded to, make sure you're washing your hands. But those memes that are like, I can't believe we're in a day and time where we have to still remind people, wash your hands. Just wash your hands.
I know after this is all said and done, I'm sure that's one of those habits that, will be formed. It's going to change. I mean, it's going to change the way everybody does things, I think, to be more conscious about it. But, to answer kind of another question, I think I probably got us off track of is what's the next steps go? To be honest, I think it's moving so fast and so quick right now with everything. I don't know that there's an answer to what goes on in August, September, October for us. Being a summertime is normally a time we're a little slower, but we had some plans in the works to change that this year. So it just depends on how all this shakes out, man. But I'm just going to focus on some personal time to get some energy back in the tank, and then go to work on relationship building and making sure all the customers are in the know, and then start working on some joint venture stuff that's been on the table for a long time now that everybody's slowed down enough to focus on it.
Awesome. Well, listen, Jeremy, thanks a lot for taking time out of your very busy schedule. And your positivity is infectious. So thanks for that. And for also sharing with the people that are going to be watching this and who are watching this about the, how to pivot, how to, maintain, grow those relationships, what to do, how to change quickly and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. How can, if people wanted to follow you, how can they follow you?
They could follow me on Facebook, Jeremy Kean, JeremyKean, Suds Fundraising, which is with a Z. You can connect either one of those places, and I operate and manage the Facebook on both of those. So they reach out that way is probably the easiest way, and I'll be more than happy to connect with any of them that might need some creative ideas. I may be able to pop something off for them.
Nice. And are you personally doing those free deliveries to Canada, asking for a friend?
Just a little outside of the delivery zone, but yeah, I saw a post earlier from Justin in Tennessee. It was like, "Are you coming to Tennessee?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Probably
Yeah.
not."
So
Or actually, it wasn't Justin; it was somebody else. But anyway, can't do Tennessee or Canada today.
yeah, dang it. Well, listen, thanks a lot. Keep
Thank you,
strong,
man. I
and
appreciate
I'll keep following the story, and have a great one. And you know what? I've got a lot of kids, and they're when we're at home, they're my workforce as well. So I totally get it, and I get to pay them in pizza and ice cream. So it's the best deal. The guys that work on the websites, they won't take pizza or ice cream for pay, but the kids will. So I totally.
Yesterday they got the gas card. They
Oh,
both
there.
got and
Nice,
lunch. They need
nice.
more than that. Trouble.
Nice. Awesome. Well, listen, have a great one. We will we'll chat again, and yeah, listen, just have a great weekend. Thanks for sharing your story.
You too, buddy. We'll talk to
Okay.
you soon.
Thanks, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.